Everyone, welcome back to another explainer. Let me ask you something right out of the gate. Do you ever wake up feeling just incredibly heavy and exhausted before you've even lifted a finger? You haven't done a single ounce of physical work yet, but you already feel completely drained. Well, today we're going to look at the fascinating mechanics behind exactly why that happens, and much more importantly, how to actually stop it.
You know what's actually happening here? Before your day even starts, your mind is basically attacking you. Think about it. You're lying in bed, rehearsing some heated argument that hasn't even happened yet. Or maybe your brain decides right then is the absolute perfect time to make you cringe at something awkward you said like 3 whole years ago. By the time 9 a.m. rolls around, your mental battery is already flashing as 0%. You're exhausted, not from doing, but from thinking.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. Number 1, the hidden cause of exhaustion. Number 2, thought 1, the disaster movie. Number 3, thought 2, the guilt hammer. Number 4, thought 3, the invisible weight. And finally, number 5, making peace with your brain.
All right, section 1, the hidden cause of exhaustion. To really get this, we've got to shatter a pretty massive myth. Drawing on some fantastic insights from Gayatri Arvind over at Abasa Rehab and Wellness, here's the absolute truth. Most people are not exhausted because they're working too hard. The true root of your daily exhaustion is actually the heavy thoughts you're carrying around. Overthinking drains you way faster than overworking ever could. It's essentially internal combat. When everything that happens in your day is filtered through this intense lens of stress and worry, you are carrying a massive weight before you've even sent a single email.
Moving right along to section 2, thought 1, the disaster movie. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how our minds work against us sometimes. It's that creeping feeling that one tiny mistake means absolutely everything is going to fall apart. Look at this rapid escalation. Step 1, you make a tiny, totally normal mistake at work. Step 2, your brain hits play on a disaster movie and suddenly you're imagining your boss firing you. Step 3, you're losing your house and ending up completely alone. Your brain takes a totally manageable situation and rapidly escalates it into a full-blown catastrophe. This whole spiral triggers what we call fake panic. Your body is literally experiencing real, exhausting physiological anxiety, but it's for a catastrophic disaster that only exists in your imagination. So why on earth does the brain do this? Because it literally treats a late email or even just a neutral look from your boss as a physical attack. It's an ancient survival mechanism just trying to protect you from danger. But in the modern workplace, that protection is actually doing a lot of harm. So how do we actually disarm this thing? Well, the next time you feel that panic bubbling up, you've got to deliberately slow down. Just pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself this specific question. In this exact second, am I actually in danger, like physical life or death danger? The answer is almost always going to be no. Giving yourself just a second to breathe and honestly answer that question activates your logical brain. You realize, hey, I'm safe. I just made a mistake. I can apologize and I can fix it.
Up next, section 3, thought 2, the guilt hammer.
You probably know this one all too well. It's that relentless internal monologue constantly telling you, I should be further in life, or I should be more productive. Listen, every single time you use the word should, you are hitting yourself with this heavy hammer of guilt. It makes you feel like you're running a marathon where someone keeps moving the finish line further and further away. Even when you're doing great, you feel behind. Your brain runs this script because it mistakenly thinks guilt is a good motivator. It thinks, hey, if I stop shaming them, they'll just stop working. But the reality is the exact opposite. Constant guilt just creates this permanent stress signal in your body that completely exhausts you. So, the crucial point is that to delete this thought, we just need a simple vocabulary swap. Replace I should with I choose to, right? Instead of saying I should work on this, try saying I choose to work on this today. Do you notice that shift? You instantly move from feeling forced and pressured to actually being in control. When you reframe it like this, that heavy pressure disappears, and you actually uncover the genuine energy you need to move forward.
Which brings us to section 4, thought 3, the invisible weight.
Now this is the big one. This secretly drains up to 80% of your mental energy. It's that little thought that whispers, it's all my fault. Almost all of us struggle with this one. Whether it's your parents, your partner, your boss, if they're in a bad mood, you instantly feel responsible for fixing it. You start carrying their emotions around like they're your own. And what does this do to you? It leads straight to total burnout. You end up over-functioning, just desperately trying to control things that are completely outside of your control.
Now, what's really interesting about this concept is the psychology behind why we do it. It's all about a false sense of power. Basically, your brain is tricking you. It figures that if it can convince you that someone else's bad mood is your fault, well, then it also means you have the power to change it. And if you can control the situation, you're safe. But it's a complete lie. The reality is, you simply cannot control another human being's emotions. If you want to radically unburden your mind, this is absolutely the thought you have to delete first. Whenever you feel that familiar, sinking dread of, "Oh no, it's my fault," you need to say this quote out loud to yourself. Their emotions are their responsibility. Seriously, use it as a mantra. Use it to cut right through the noise whenever that invisible weight starts feeling way too heavy.
We've got to clearly draw the boundary lines of what is actually under our jurisdiction. Remind yourself, I am only responsible for my own heart, my own emotions, and my own actions. That's it. By clearly defining those boundaries, you replace the exhausting, heavy burden of misplaced guilt with the incredible, light feeling of just letting go.
Let's move to our final section and see how this all builds together. Section 5. Making peace with your brain.
After hearing all of this, it's pretty easy to feel frustrated with your own mind. But here's the absolute ultimate takeaway. Your brain is not your enemy. Your thoughts are not your enemy. They're really just an overzealous security system trying to protect you by constantly scanning for danger. But just because your brain offers you a thought doesn't mean you have to accept it or give it any power. Notice the pattern, remove the power. Once you notice the pattern, whether it's the disaster movie, the guilt hammer, or the invisible weight, it loses its grip on you. You can simply notice the thought, recognize it isn't serving you, and hit delete.
By learning to identify these 3 mental traps, you are literally reclaiming the energy that rightfully belongs to you. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one vital question to think about as you go about your day. Which heavy thought will you delete today? Thanks so much for joining me, and stay focused out there.